One, גדולה שיחתם של עבדי אבות מתורתם של בנים. The conversation of the slaves of our forefathers is bigger than the Torah of their sons or their descendants. Now, this is the ways that the sages teaches us. They speak, of course, about Eliezer and all of his stories. I mean, the long story that we've been told twice in our parsha. Very, very long. Actually, the chapter 24 in our parsha that describes the way Eliezer going from Avraham to find a wife for Yitzchak is the longest chapter in all book of Bereshit, 67 verses. And the sages saying that because, of course, when we're speaking about a lot of our mitzvot, of our things we have to do, a lot of times we'll find it in one verse. Sometimes like, lo tirtzach, don't kill, that's it, 2 words from the 10 commandments, of course. So many of our things in our Torah are so shortly describing, and we come to this parsha and we know so many words we learn from the story of Eliezer going to find a wife for Yitzchak. Now, there's a lot of things to learn from the story. Maybe we'll speak about it later this week. But I want to speak about something else. Imagine there is a show running in the school of your kids, and your kid coming back from school and telling you, I'm going to play Eliezer in the show about Chayei Sarah, about this week's parsha. Probably you'll be very happy, right? Because Eliezer is a figure key of, is very important in the story. So many times, he's doing so many important stuff. So probably you'll be happy. But, interestingly enough to find, if we look about how many times people's name mentioned in the parsha, and I looked for some of them. So we have Avraham mentioned in Chayei Sarah 37 times. Yitzchak 13 times. Rivka 12 times. Sarah 9 times. Ephron, the one that Avraham is buying Me'arat HaMachpelah from, 9 times. Betuel, the father of Rivka, 4 times. And Lavan, Rivka's brother, 3 times. Now Eliezer, surprisingly to mention, doesn't mention in his name even one time in the whole Chayei Sarah parsha. In all of this week's parsha, not even one time. He described as Ha'ish, the man, or Ha'eved, the slave, but not with his name. We know his name from other parshiot, like from other places in the Torah, but not from this week's parsha. And I think if we get back to the quote from the sages, "Gdola sichatam shel avdei avot mitoratam shel banim," the conversation of the slaves of our forefathers is bigger than the Torah of their kids. Even here, the name of Eliezer is not mentioning, right? We just know it's about Eliezer. Maybe it's an important lesson for us, or for us personally, but also for the last event that happened. And I'm mentioning 2 events. One of them you don't know probably. It's kind of personal for me. But the other one probably you heard of. So in the last 2 weeks we were in Israel. One of the reasons was for my sister's wedding. That was very great and happy to be there. The second one was the elections. We didn't come back for that, but it happened to be that it happened while we were there. And I think this tip, our sage is trying to tell us through Eliezer, is important for those 2 events, wedding and elections. To the wedding. So I think when you come to be in relationship, when you get married, it's important not to think about how your name will be mentioned and how much you will be so important in this relationship, rather than thinking about your partner, your spouse, and how you can help him. That's, I think, obvious. About politics, so we have new government. Soon we're going to have, Bezrat Hashem, new government in Israel. And it's interesting. I don't know how much you're following all the conversations right now, who's going to be the minister of what, and what exactly going to be the agreement between the new coalition. But I think if the people will think not how exactly their name going to be mentioned as the minister of something, or how am I going to be signed on something, this or that by my name, rather than how my action going to affect the people in Israel, the people, all the Jews in all over the world. Maybe that will help us more to lead to a good coalition that Bezrat Hashem will survive 4 years, surprisingly, after 3 years of non-stability, but also will bring us good action and good deeds from the coalition. So I want to bless us all that we'll think about our actions more of how our name is going to be in some place or another.